Oh, it says I'm live. Oh, I don't believe it. Lavelia, you just subscribed to me. I don't believe that. Hello, hello, hello to anybody here. Hello. One person, two people, eight people. 8 people and 2 thumbs up. That's wonderful. Hey, Heather. Nice to see you. Hello, Mia Bear and Tracy and Kenny. Huge hug to Kenny. Today's show is brought to you by Kenny, without whom none of this would be possible. Um, hello, Shelley Lewis and Becca Cox and Colored by Caroline and let's see, Mia Bear and Becky and Ashley and uh, okay, well, you guys chat to each other. Woo, 21 people. Okay, that's wonderful. Hi, everybody. I am Christine Aldridge, and I am CLAldridgeArt. And if this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome to you. Hi, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I'm so excited because Lavelia, whose channel I love, just just subscribed, and a bunch of other people. Hi, Gary. Thank you, Deb, for everything that you do for the community. I do not know what went on in your stream in the part that I missed. I'm looking forward to the feedback or to watching back, but the outpouring of love for you was obvious. So take that to heart. Leave all the rest behind. Okay? Hey, Pickle, and Sharon, and Pat, and hi, May, and welcome, Shannon, who wasn't going to be here but is here. Thank you. Uh, and and welcome to everybody here. I am thrilled to say that I have a new drawing in my Etsy shop. It is called Friends. Garden Friends, I believe is what I named it. This is the drawing that I did a recent uh, series on, where I drew a little bit on it. I am going to do another series of drawing videos, only this time I'm actually going to start with a blank page, but it'll be a voiceover one because the actual thinking up the design is the hard part. And so I'll show you a little bit of the struggle that I go through in thinking up a design, and then do sort of more like speed, because I imagine that for those of you that watched me draw this grass ring, that it was probably a little bit torture. But hello, Melinda and Morticia. And okay, all right, Morticia, I know it's late there. Thank you for coming in. And hello, Lavelia. And hello, Nick and Tina and Susie and Katrina. Hang on a second. For those of you who are new here, you might know that the only time a week that I actually talk out loud is on Sundays. So sometimes I get a little boisterous, and then my voice starts to go. Okay. The other thing I wanted to show you, beside the new drawing, oh, and by the way, the new drawing is in my Etsy shop. There are 2 versions of it available, one with the insects and one without. Links are below. Hang on. Hang on one second. That's a little better. I apologize for that. The other thing that I have to show you, I just need to settle myself down. It's spring here in Virginia. I could give you a lot of reasons why I cough a lot, but one of them is that there is a ton of pollen in the air right now. It is wreaking havoc with my head. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous happy mail. And about 2 weeks ago, I believe, in a stream, I had mentioned that over on Lavalia's channel, I had seen her color from this book, which was the roughly translated, it's under the microscope or under the looking glass or the magnifying glass, book by Rita Berman. I had mentioned that I am not overly fond of the seasonal ones. This one I absolutely love. And I can tell you that if Rita Berman and I were to ever meet, we would be best friends because her art speaks to me the way that that other people's doesn't. And I love like some of the little trick things. By the way, this book came from Diane Lavore. Diane, thank you so much. It arrived on Friday, and hopefully she will watch back and see it. But one of the things I absolutely love, of course, beside the fold-out cover and the beautiful coloring inside, is that when you look at it like this, it's the printed version. But if you flip this page up, it's your version. And I was so thrilled that I mean, what a cute design. Okay, all right, Kenny, that's okay. And I just love it. I just love that Diane heard me when I said, "Oh, I just love that book so much," because I really do. This one, I'm not. I've got the C one too on my wish list, but this is the one that I just absolutely love. Thank you to whoever that was. Anytime that you hear that cha-ching sound, by the way, and I have offered to make that sound go away, but that is a sale in my Etsy shop for which I am hugely grateful. This is, but this is just adorable. Every every picture in this book is one that I will absolutely color. Of course, a lot of times what I do is I study these more for drawing style than I do necessarily for coloring because I don't do a whole lot of coloring of other people's work, but I do. And on that note, I won't do a flip through of this because there are lots of them online or on YouTube. But I just so appreciate this book, and I will be coloring in it. I can guarantee you. And speaking of coloring, look what I finished. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. For those of you who have been watching, it's done. I cannot get it all in, but as you can see, I decided to go with, thank you, Ashley. I decided to go with a stormy sky outside the window, and it's raining. And of course, I put a tree out there as well. And, of course, this is the one where I actually drew in the entire background. Uh, and then, of course, the other window, there's another tree, matching tree. And I finished up all the little details, little gold details, painted the paintings, did the paintings, one like a still life and one like a landscape. I really like the way the sky came out on this one. And so needless to say, I'm thrilled with how this one came out. Uh, and I wish I could get it all in, but I can't. So there it is. I'm really glad to be done with it because that means that I can move on to another project, and it's going to be from this book. I can tell you that right away. So this was Romantic Country, the first tale, and this, of course, is Der Welt unter der Loopzuland. It's something the land under the microscope, and I believe it's German. Okay, then let's see. Oh, then I do want to tell you about a new channel that I found. And this was my weird timeline where I finally proved to myself that if I went on at 3 instead of 2, that we would all flow during this daylight savings time transition between the countries. Uh, and it would not be a problem. I had to prove it to myself with a timeline. Because last week my thoughts got us all screwed up. So this week it was right on the money. So happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. I am in fact Irish, Scots Irish, although don't tell my relatives because they weren't supposed to like one another back in the day. And so I was over on Facebook, and there was a post by a lady by the name of DERWYA DERYA Draws, as in DRAWS. And it was a link to her Etsy shop. And so I checked her out. It's Pretty Girl Art, which is, of course, so many of you guys love, but is the true friend of folks like Sammy. And then I found that she also has a YouTube channel called Derya Draws, DERYA Draws, all one word. I checked that out, and she does a speed coloring of her using pastels on one of her own drawings, and it is fantastic. It is a well produced video. It is very informative about the use of uh, chalk pastels along with colored pencils and all sorts of other things. I first became enamored of chalk pastels over at May Brox's channel when she was using pastel pencils. And then I saw them used by by Sandy at Color Creatively on 2 of the drawings from my 5th book or 6th book, which was this one, Flowers of Fantasy. She did the basket drawings in that using chalk pastels and these ones. And it was just amazing. So I can highly recommend this channel. And I have put links to the Etsy shop as an honorable mention for today, because I like to help out people who are new. I don't think she's a new artist, but I do think she's new to the coloring community. So, Daria Draw. Recommendation for today. Now I've done my good deed for the day. And I can look and see hello, everybody. Hello, Katie and Rochelle. Rochelle, thank you for all your lovely comments on my videos. They are so appreciated. And okay, so this is the project that we have been coloring, and I decided to bring it back for a couple of reasons. One, because I haven't had a chance to actually color on it since last Sunday when we left it. The other reason is that I wanted to show you that I did get busy with the white pencil again, and so I added highlights. I don't know if you can see those, and they are very subtle because I also went over them with the chartreuse green Prismacolors. But I added a highlight here along the edge of the frog and down here. And this, of course, is Derwent INKTENSE. And then, of course, here and here. Oh, that reminds me. I also saw Zucchini Kitty post a new drawing that she just did in Googly's book. And then, of course, May also did one. So that is a cool new book. I have no idea where to get it. I'm going to assume that you have to get it at 70 East Books or the other one on Etsy, since it is a Chinese or Japanese book. I'm not sure which, but very cool, a very cool book. Of course, all of mine are very cool too. But I also recognize that my style isn't everybody's style, and some people who love my work also love that work. So there we go. And yeah, we are going to color on Bill. This is Bill. Bill is a mouse. No, Bill is the bird. Is that right? Have I got it right, Mia Bear? Mia Bear has named all of this is Kermit, and Deb named Kermit. And this is, I don't remember, Hermione, and I don't remember who named Hermione, but this is Bill the bird, Bill the other bird, and Deb. Deb is a mouse. Well, in that case, Mia Bear, you're going to be very disappointed because Deb is actually going to be like, he's going to look more like a mink, more like a, maybe, like a brunette. As long as Deb can be a brunette, we're good. But she can't be pink. She can't be pink in this one. I already did you a pink dragon. Oh, Susie, thank you very much. I appreciate appreciate that so much. And I do hope that you are resting there at home, Susie. We cannot lose you from the community in much the same way that we don't want to lose anybody from the community. So you all have to take care of yourselves. None of this disappearing stuff on us. You just named the other bird. Okay. Yeah. I don't remember who named Hermione. We are continuing with the Inktense. And so I'm going to choose some colors to hopefully try and achieve a brunette mouse. I want it to look like I want it to be brown with maybe a red oxide. I liked the way that the red oxide picked up here, and I like the chocolate brown. So, when in doubt, always, always. Hi, Connie. Welcome, welcome. CB is Connie, everybody. And she has a wonderful channel too, as does Caroline at Coloring with Caroline. And hello, Kate. How are you? Wow, we haven't seen one another in a while. Hi, Kate. And yes, to all of you who are being asked to live different lifestyles now than you have, I know that you get great big hugs from me. I have recently had to quit smoking for financial reasons because I just can't justify it anymore. I mean, it used to be that I could justify it. I cannot justify the cost of a pack of cigarettes anymore. So I've had to quit, and which might have a little to do with me doing this. So, if I get freaky on you, that's probably the answer. All right, what am I looking for? I'm looking for Inktense. This is my swatch book, everybody. It's my best friend. And we are going to give away a book today. So stay tuned for that. That is courtesy of Shara, who, as many of you know, Shara is a wonderful member of the coloring community. She purchased 5 books out of my Etsy shop. I matched those 5 and so we have 10 for giveaways. So we are going to give a book away today. Okay, so we've got the Madder Brown, which is kind of a reddish brown, and the red oxide, which is more of a rusty, like a brick brown. So I am thinking that the madder brown and the and I always do this too. I'm thinking that the chocolate. Let's start with the dark chocolate and the saddle brown. No, let's not. Let's start with the saddle brown and the tan, or the willow and the tan. Yeah, we'll go with the willow because the willow is going to match the madder brown better. So I got the willow and the tan. There's the tan. And hopefully I'm not creating a huge glare for you guys. If you guys can see these any better than I can when I get to the right one, let me know. There's the willow. And there's the madder just in case. Okay. Yeah, and for those of you who may not know, I am almost 60 years old. I will be shortly, and I have smoked since I was 13, with just an occasional stoppage. So quitting smoking for me is a huge deal, and if it doesn't kill me first, it'll probably be good for me. But I'm pretty sure it might kill me first. All right, so I'm going to start just by putting a tiny bit of Inktense here along a highlight along the edge of my mouse, or along the center of my mouse. And of course, with Inktense, you don't need very much. If you would like to say something directly to me, if you could put it in caps, there is a better chance that I will see it. But I am not really good at following the chat while I'm working. On the other hand, I do read the chat back on every single stream so that I can find out if there were questions that were unanswered. I can get them answered for you. So if you are new here, I am an artist. I have 9 books that I have published of my own. Additionally, I have published 5 for other people. I'm trying to decide what my darkest color here is. The darkest color is probably the madder. So let's go ahead and use the madder out here. And this is how I make my living. I make my living doing art. And I want him to have probably a white belly, so I'm not going to do putting the. Of course, Derwent Inktense, you activate it with water, so don't freak out if you see me if you have never seen stuff like this before. That's probably going to be the mid, which is the oops, where's my willow? There's my willow. That's it. And let's see here. What else? I have an Etsy shop. All my books are available in print or as PDFs. I'm a mod for a lot of folks on. Oh, stop, Mia Bear. Stop, stop, stop. It is not a boring brown mouse. It's only boring if you have no imagination for how pretty it will be. Not all creatures can be pink. Like I said, I gave you colorful birds and a pink dragon. I don't remember where my pink dragon got off to. I need to give Mia Bear a fix of her pink dragon. Hang on. Oh Mia, oh wait. Is Spica in here? There she is. Hello, Spica. Say hi to Mia. Make her feel better. Mia, it's okay. I'm pink. It's okay. I'm a pink dragon. Anyway. Oh. Also, I keep forgetting to mention that you remember Rob Roscom with Botanica 2. He has Botanica 3 out now. It is available on Amazon. It is fabulous. It's got birds. Love it. Once again, he and I share a cover color artist in Virginia, Sanders Cole. So she did his cover. And this is going to be, he's going to have a beige nose or a tan nose. And really, this is more just putting down just some color on here to see what happens, and then we'll fine tune it all later. Just like I've done, everywhere else. I showed that last stream and mentioned you. Oh, thank you, Dev. Yeah, thank you, and Rob will thank you too. He is such a sweet guy. He is from the Netherlands. He currently lives in Canada with his partner, and they are just the nicest guys in the world. And they've been. He is just. I think he's just a really good artist. He's much better at drawing some things than others. But I have because he's drawn in so many different genres. He drew his fantasy books, which are a little like more cartoony, and he also that's the whimsical world books. But then he also drew the Chickadee book, which is just amazing. Okay, that's enough to start the magic. Let's see what we can come up with. I'll just start in the center. This, by the way, is just a water brush. I'm working in little circles. And really what I'm doing is I'm just soaking the paper. This is a 110-pound Georgia Pacific cardstock from Walmart. Nothing special. And I have it pinned. I printed this one, and I have it pinned to the face, my hard copy face of this particular book. And for those of you who are noticing, yes, I am breaking my own rule and sort of working in little circles instead of straight lines. But the chances are much better. I've got a really gentle touch, so the chances are pretty good that I will not pill the paper. It's hard for me to do it like that. I got to turn it. I'm sorry. I have to turn it. So how's everybody today? Hi, Brenda and Joey and Jude and anybody else who's popped in that I have not seen. And once again, this is just a base coat of getting some color idea down on it. I will fine tune it with more colors. My boring brown mouse. Poor Mia Bear. I don't always color realistic colors, but since I started with the frog with a realistic color, I thought maybe I should continue on. And for those of you who also don't already know, May Brox, who is one of my mods, also comes on right after me. So she'll be on at 3:38 here. She'll be on at 5 my time, which is 9 UK time, and 10 her time, which is GMT +1. Okay, so that's enough to get it started. Let's give a little dusty pink ear, or a deep rose ear. Just a little color right around the edges. Are we okay for Zoom, guys, or do you need me to zoom in? Fun colors are better. But how come, I mean, brown, see, to me, I guess maybe it's a matter of opinion, Mia Bear, but I think brown is a fun color. I like brown. Yeah, we'll have to change that a little bit. It needs some serious shadowing in that ear, but all right, now instead of just trying to think of what color, you see how I made I ended up, excuse me, I ended up making the belly on this one white by using gray, actually. And I think I might do the same thing with the little guy, and actually using white, and I think I used, or gray, and I used a tiny bit of the iris blue. And see if I can find the iris blue. You know, I swear that I put these things back in the same spot every time, but then they end up jumping around. Okay, so this is the neutral gray. And the way that you would do a white, white, or make it look white, is to just put a very, very tiny bit of the neutral gray on the very edges. Maybe shadow it under. And then a little bit, and I am literally just whispering this pencil across the, you can hardly even see it. I can hardly even see it, and I'm right on top of it. So, and then you can sort of bring it in. So it works very similarly to snow. When you're coloring snow and you use the, the grays and the blues to create the cool feeling. Just like that. So now he looks a little more like he's got a belly. Now I want to catch his eye. Hi, Melody. How are you? So this is the micron, which is just a very black. So I'm using that since it's my typical drawing pen. And his eye actually should not stick up above the bridge of his nose like that, but and then he needs a little pink nose. Once again, we've got the deep rose. And so we'll get that started. Maybe put a tiny bit of pink in there. Although technically that should be black. Uh-oh, I missed an arm. Bye, Kim. Thank you for all you do for everybody. That was the point of that, Katie. It's the two sort of dull colors juxtaposed against the two bright colors. Okay. What have I got in my hand? I've got the tan, and why do I have it? Haven't got a clue. I had a plan. Oh, I know what it was. I was gonna do the mushroom. I was just gonna start doing the mushroom. Okay. And then I want the chocolate brown for this. That is the sepia. Want the chocolate. Dark chocolate. Okay, got it. Go to the outer edge. But I will be adding a a bit of color in these big flowers, a bit of bright color, but I'm going to keep the shrooms a dark kind of, just like him. I want him, although I kind of like the way he's looking with that lighter brown. We'll see. I was thinking of him more as a russet color, but maybe, oh, I know what I want. I want that to be the sepia color. Okay, so I want this. We'll decide if we want the mushroom tops to be colorful or not. As you can see, I've got a lot of colors out. That's the red oxide. What I want is I think the amber, to add maybe just a little bit of color to that stem. And then you know that I am loving the mustard shades. So maybe I'll add a little bit of mustard as well. Might even add it in there toward the edges. And we'll see what we get. Thank you. Thank you, Heather. I saw that. I saw that. Yes, I had forgotten the other arm. Now I remember. Okay, I did actually see that. All right, I'll get that other arm. Actually, I would really just love to sit and visit, but I always feel like if I do that, I'm boring you guys. So, and I usually get to do that in other people's streams. I get to visit with the people who are there. So I'm just working this in a little bit. I do love the way that INKTENSE works. And this book, by the way, is Fantasy Flower Garden. And of course, it'll look better once it's dry. Once it's dry and been thoroughly tweaked. And this book has been featured quite a bit because people like the little creatures in it. This is one of two of my creatures books. There are things like mice and birds and frogs in all of my books, but primarily they're featured in this book and also in Flowers and Flyers, which was my third book. And until Fabulous Flowers, which is the newest one, came out, it was my the second book. And this is the one that we colored in there, for those who've never seen it, in this book. And that's Derwent INKTENSE right on at the time that this book was printed, it was truly CreateSpace. Now it's KDP, and the paper is slightly better. So there is that, to which the artists say, yay. Okay. Yeah, I'm not overly in awe of how that came out. So I might have to fix that. But this one is not bad. I like that to be just a tad lighter. Okay. Let's try this. I am going to go over this whole thing with the mustard, a light coat of the mustard, which is, it's like a gold color. And this is what I like about the mustard, is it truly is like a golden color, much more than any of the, and by gold I mean like antique gold, than any of the yellows in the set. Thank you, Fern. I appreciate that. I'm glad you ordered flowers and flyers. And to all of you who own multiple books, thank you so much. I mean, I do appreciate that so much. And you know, if you like for instance, if you like my first book, which is purely designs, it is my bestseller. Even today, it is still my bestseller, which is Flowers and Dreams. And that was my very first drawing. That was the very first drawing that I drew, put it in my Etsy shop, and it started to sell. That was it. But folks like this book, and I colored that here on the channel, and that one, and this one, which I didn't color it on the channel, but I saved it. It was a mess. This is the one that Zarget Hunter helped me save because this background was horribly garish. And she said, put a green wash over it. So that's what I did. And that is just watercolor or water-based markers is what that one is. Or you like creatures or birds or something like that. You can find something like that in all of my books. You can also find all of the individual drawings in my, sorry, hopefully I'm not getting my hair on the shot. All of my individual drawings in my Etsy shop. So you don't have to commit to buying a whole book if you just want a drawing. And there's a link to that below as well, along with all sorts of other goodies, wish lists and tip jars and such. And there's also, I discovered to all of the YouTube channel owners, there's, if you put your, pay, I guess what I'm trying to say is pay attention to the customize your channel features, because there's all sorts of convenient places to put all sorts of tags and links and direct social media links and things like that. So yes, that is a hugely boring color on that, but it's not the color that we're going to have forever. So we want the tan, now that we remember that we haven't done that arm. And I want the madder brown. Maybe a tiny bit of the, where is it? The willow is what I want. Willow, willow. That was the madder brown. That's the sepia. Oh, for pity's sake. That's the mustard. That's the amber. That's the neutral gray. That's the blue. We're going to start putting these things away so that maybe I can stand a chance of finding one. Okay, madder, amber, mustard, willow. Thank you. Finally. Swear it grew legs and almost tried to get away. I'm so excited that I get to color in that Rita Berman book. Oh, yeah. Her art, I love everything about it. I love her imagination. I love the way her mind works. As far as where she goes with each drawing. I love that book. Love, love, love that book. And then I've learned a ton from watching Lobelia color and a ton more from watching uh, Color with B. And it's just amazing. And of course, May. I always learn something from May every single week. Every single week, I learn something from May. It's like, geez Louise. How long does it take to do? Okay, Sue, I could, if I had the drawings done, I could have a book published in 3 days. That's how long it takes. Well, if I was working 14 hours a day, that's it. That is 3 days, 14 hours a day. You have to build the book, and you need a piece of software to do that. But I remember that I'm on my like 15th or 16th book that I would have created at that point. So I've got all kinds of templates that I've pre-created, book pages. All I have to do is drop images in. So I did all of that advanced work up front, and it tweaked it a lot. Okay. Yeah, that's a really ugly color, but we're going to change that. Don't worry. That's just a base coat. Just its tail. We have to do his tail. Now he is going to have a pink tail, but we are going to, but all told, it really, you have to, and I don't want to do this. What I want to do is this. This is just a piece of plastic. So what I'm doing is I'm taking it off the pencil and I'm putting it on the plastic. Then I put some additional water on it so that I could make it tone it down. And that is what I'm going to use on his tail. Because I don't want his tail. His tail really should be a flesh color, but there isn't really a flesh color, so we have to kind of make one. So we'll do this first coat of very pale pink on his tail, and then we'll come back with an orange later, a pale orange, and that will give us a flesh tone. Yes, you did, Kenny. Yes, you did. You got them all. Oh, you're talking about Rita Berman. Oh, yes. Sandy, are you here? Is Deb, is she here? I can't see. If you're here, Sandy, thank you, thank you, thank you. And yes, everybody should go over and subscribe to Color Creatively. Sandy is amazing. What she did with my drawings and and how she shows you, and those Koh-i-Noors. Oh my goodness, I want those Koh-i-Noor tritones. Those are so handy for all those color changes in that wicker. That was just the perfect solution. She did the baskets using the Koh-i-Noor tritones, and she shows you how to use them, and they are wonderful. Thank you, May. And thank you, Deb. Oh, good. Oh, good, good, good. Please look up the pictures of the baskets. Yes. Well, I saw you do them, and I saw them finished, but not in the frames. You had just showed. I mean, you had said that you couldn't go out that day to get frames, so I haven't seen them since then. But I saw them done, and they're gorgeous. Okay, so now, okay, we did the tail, we did that, and this is what I was working on, these green leaves earlier, and I had actually done them, and let me show you sometimes what happens. Sometimes I will make a mistake. Oh no, really, Christine? You make mistakes? Yes. Yes, I do. As a matter of fact. So I made a mistake and I used the iron green and I believe it was the apple green. Let me just make doubly sure. The iron green and the apple green. Yes. No. No, it was the iron green and the vivid green. That was it. All right. So I used these two. And I'll show you what I did. I used the vivid green in here. Now I'll tell you that I loved the result. It just wasn't the right color for this spot. But when I went over it again with a different color, it made this. And so I think I need all three colors to get it to look like this. So that's why I'm making the mistake all over again, so that I can then come back and have them all look the same. Now it all goes dark for a minute, but it does get better. And so we'll see if this is what I did or not. I think it is. So I used the vivid green in here. It created such a cool effect. And the iron green out here. Oh, I fixed for time here. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for all the thumbs up. Thank you to all the people who are here. That is so wonderful. Looks like I'm just coming up on 1 hour. And thank you, Deb, for encouraging all of us and encouraging people to come over and all you do in the coloring community. Okay. All right, so it creates these, I mean, they're really gorgeous. It's a really gorgeous blue-green color. And I'm just sort of reading chat a little bit, guys. But it's just not the right color for that spot right now. So in order to change it, I used the beach green. So that is how I got it. How I got it back down to more of a more of a yellowish green. Right now it's a blue green, or a blue green, and I needed it to be more of a yellowish green. So that is what I did. I waited for it to dry, then I went over it with the beach green, and it gave me this effect, and it's a really beautiful effect. So that is, I'm trying to get back to it by creating this the same way. Because I think that if I tried to go just directly with the beach green and maybe the apple green being more yellow, that it would be all the leaves would not be the same color. Not that they have to be the same color, but anyway. Okay, Christine, stop being boring. Uh, thank you, Becky. Thank you, Becky. Okay, Christine, yes, stop being boring, my dear. All right, let's do a, this is a, this is a branch. Our little bird is sitting on a branch of wood. And in my mind, when I was drawing it, this was like a dead stick that was part of a, because I had to figure out how come this bird is sitting on a stick when this guy is sitting on the ground. So he's actually sitting on a rock. And the rock puts him a little bit higher. It's a rock with a sloped edge, so you just can't see where the stick leaves the ground. So for those of us who just insist on realism, that's my answer. Okay. So this is just a narrow stick, so we'll shade it with pencils later on. And we are going to, as I mentioned before, we will do a book giveaway. It'll be for a PDF copy of any book that you like, or if you are a U.S. Well, actually, no, we can't do that. Never mind. I have to retract that. I apologize. I have to retract it for now. I have some physical copies, but I don't have all my books. I don't have all the physical copies of all the books. I mean, I have them, but I can't give them away because they're either colored in by me, or. But I do have 3 physical books, but we won't be giving those away today. Those are part of what I'm cooking up for my 1,000 subscriber celebration. Okay, Deb, thank you so much, and good luck tomorrow in your new area. May you meet with success wherever you go. Okay, so now, this is the baked earth, which is the more of the brick color. That's what I was thinking of for these mushrooms. So let's go with that and see if we can't make these a little more interesting to look at. Because I think they're pretty boring right now. And if you can hear my stomach growling, don't worry. There's food in the refrigerator. I cooked last night. I just did not eat before the show, and I will after. Okay. Maybe we'll bring some of that down in here as well. See if that makes it any more interesting looking. I was watching Aloria talk today about there is a certain point, a time where where your drawing or your coloring or whatever goes to what we call the ugly phase, and then we get it back into the beautiful phase with continuing to work on it. And I think that is exactly what happens. You reach a certain point where you're fairly sure that it's all gone wrong, and then all of a sudden you manage to pull it off. Okay. That comment about ugly art face. Well, absolutely, absolutely, Katie. And actually, that is the thing. That is the point. Uh, is that oh, good. Okay. All right. Hang on. What I'm doing is I'm just sort of trying to check I'm playing with the focus, guys. Uh, and the problem, of course, is that I can't tell if it's in focus or not because my eyes will not focus. This has been going on for a couple days now. That my eyes won't focus. I mean, I'm okay looking at this, but like the TV, distance, anything like that, they just won't focus. And that's because I'm tired. Uh, yeah, exactly. And Aloria, exactly. And the the thing about the ugly phase is that when it hits the ugly phase, set it aside. Do not continue to work on it until you have a plan on what it is that comes next. And too many people lose their coloring mojo over the ugly phase, and you just because there is, trust me, trust me on this. When I tell you that if I managed to save this, it was only because I was able to ride out the ugly phase. And as it turns out, even with this horrible, ugly background, it is still one of the best things I've ever colored because I saved it. Because I saved it from being horrible. And that is what counts. I've saved many a drawing that way too. I get that way with fibro and not what? No, but I don't know exactly what that means, Heather, but good on you. If you found a way around that, then that actually works for me. Okay, now that we've had a chance to let that dry, let's see what happens when we add some beach green in. It's not completely dry, so that's probably not good on my part, but You need to take some from the tip. See if we can't get that to... I think I'm going to let that other one dry a little bit more. I don't think it's quite enough dry. So that is, I guess, you just ride out those ugly places. That's about all I can say about that. Ride out those ugly ones. Okay, iron green. I love the iron green in this set. It is a truly beautiful, deep blue green. And I love that so that's correct me if I'm wrong, but by my count, between the number 1 set and the number 2 set of the INKTENSE travel pans, there are 4 colors in there that are not in the 72 set. Is that right? Yes, Aloria, yes, I find that true, especially if I'm drawing. Especially if I'm drawing. Oh, and well, you're a fellow artist, so here's one I'm sure that you will appreciate. I worked really, and I told the people here this last week. I worked really hard on a new drawing, which is something that I'd never drawn before, and I was so proud that it came out exactly the way I wanted. And I put it in my shop, and nobody even looked at it. Nobody even looked at it. I was talking about crushing your spirits. But as it turned out, it was okay. Hang on, I forgot to put in the other part. I got so excited that there was somebody who would actually understand the way I felt. It was like being told, "Oh, you're not good enough." And we cannot ever listen to those voices, whether we are artists, whether we are colorists, whether we are trash collectors. Never ever listen to those voices that are people discouraging you, or that are not people discouraging you, because people don't generally discourage each other. In general, people don't discourage each other. We are our own worst enemies when we discourage ourselves. And that is what we all have to watch out for. It isn't the voice outside of us that says you're not good enough that is the problem. It's the one inside our heads that says it. That is the one that we have to watch out for and kick its butt when it raises its ugly head. Because the plain and simple truth is that you are good enough. And you are. Do I sound like that guy? That guy on Saturday night? You are good enough. That is not who I mean to sound like. Quick, somebody give me a cigarette before I go crazy. Sorry. If somebody can just get me out of or tell me how long the brain fog lasts. Aloria, don't procrastinate. I do that too. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Just get it done. I know it's hard. I know it's the last thing in the world you want to do. But you just sort of have to sit down and make yourself do it. And then, I mean, if you're getting out and about and you're making videos and you're doing this stuff like that, Aloria, you are already doing the hardest part in the world, which is to promote yourself. It is the most difficult task that an artist has to do is to self-promote. Most of us suck at it. I am a little bit better than most because I actually like getting out in the community. I like visiting with people who color my work and you know, and not all the time. You know, sometimes I have to cocoon and draw and just get in my own head. But mostly I like being out there. And if you like being out there, it shows, and people will like you. You know, don't be the kind of artist that thinks that, you know, just because they're an artist, they're too good for everybody else. There are a few of us that are like that in the community, and those are the ones that suck. And those are the ones that ultimately people don't like. They might like the art, but they don't like the person. Who the heck am I? I don't know. Sure, hold the picture you just did us. Oh, no, Fern, it was the dragon. It was the dragon. It was the other dragon. It was the new dragon. The third dragon. The first two dragons, the first two dragon lions people loved, or dragon drawings people loved. The third one was not met with the level of enthusiasm. I loved it, mostly because it was the hardest one for me to draw. Uh, but it's okay. It's absolutely okay. We cannot. One of the things that I learned early in the game, which was, and remember that I've been playing this game now with the Etsy, you know, using the Etsy store as my gauge of whether or not I'm on the right track or the wrong track since 2015. So it is not the first drawing that has met with that reception. And I did, for a while, I tried to draw as an artist by the name of Fiona Fizzlewicket, and she drew completely different stuff. And there are very few people that know that I was Fiona Fizzlewicket, but I was. And that art, I I could never promote it, and that was part of the problem. It was remember when every other book on Amazon was a curse word book? Well, yeah, I tried to do that. Couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. Epic fail. Epic fail. That's what I got for trying to, you know, fit in with the crowd. But we were watching all of these, the artists were literally watching these curse word books being sold by the tens of thousands. Do you have any idea how many books you have to sell to make number one on Amazon? And James Alexander sat on the top of that list for 9 months. And no legitimate artist could understand it. Not a single one. The guy didn't even draw, for God's sakes. Sorry. He was somebody, just a guy who hired contract art. I need to shut up. There was too many secrets. There's stuff that goes on in the artist community that we don't talk about. We don't talk about outside of the group. Suffice it to say, I draw all my own work. Okay. And we are an hour and 20 minutes in, so I think it's time to give away a book. What do you think? Let's get these. Done. And, oops. Now, I'm not going to worry over much about the fact that I've gotten a little bit out of the lines on a couple of these because that can be taken care of with a gel pen or some Posca paint or, you know, something along those lines. And thank you all for bearing with me while I just sort of natter on about things that are not important. Okay. Let's do this. We will run, whoops, in the book community. Wait, the people, what, people not writing their own words or writing their own book. I'm going to have fun reading the chat back on this. And I apologize that, okay, all right. I'm lost with chat. I apologize. So, is everybody okay? Are we all ready to do a book giveaway? Oh, thank you, Beth. Oh, good. Okay, so you're coloring it too? This is the conversation ring from Fantasy Flower Garden. Whoops, you can't hardly see it, can you? Because there's a glare on that. Ah, there we go. From Fantasy Flower Garden, which is my... This one was released in... When did I release this? Well, that doesn't tell me anything. That just tells me when it was printed. I want to say that I released Fantasy Flower Garden in March of 2018. And then this one came after it. This is my newest book. You like how I work in getting to show you all the covers of my books as we go along? Yes, do the giveaway. Okay. This is my most recent book, and this came out in November. So this was Fabulous Flowers. And we are going to get back to this one, guys. The one that we started with the distress inks. To be perfectly honest, I couldn't remember which book it was in. So the fact that I have just found it, I will mark it right now, and we will continue on with this one. Next week, remember, is can it already be guest artist week again? Next week's guest artist will be Christina McAllister. I will be coloring from her book, Magical Beauties, probably volume 2, which I have in PDF form if I can get ink from my printer. But right now I don't have any ink for my printer, and I don't know if the budget will allow it. If it doesn't, then I will be coloring from her book, Magical Beauties 1, which I have in hard copy. But I'm also going to check with Christina for those of you that have her books. You can color along. I'll also see if she does have a current sample drawing that she would be willing to let us use as well. You know how I always check with stuff like that. So, the giveaway. Okay, here are the rules very quickly. Everybody listen up. You want to choose a number between 1 and 100. Do not type the number in until you see me type go, go, go. I'll let you run for a while. One number per person. No, once you've entered a number, you cannot change your number if you see that somebody entered it before you. And the first person will draw a number randomly, and the closest number without going over. And the reason it needs to be without going over is because otherwise there would be potentially two winners, one on either side of the exact number. So whoever, let's say that the exact number was 36, one person had 35, the other person had 37, which one actually wins? The one who is closest without going over. And and please don't chat once the numbers start going in. So if everybody understands the rules, the prize, once again, is your choice of any one of the 8 books that I have in PDF form. I will deliver it to you via Dropbox, and I'll provide you with a link where you can just go download the files. And once again, these books that I'm able to give away are courtesy of our beautiful subscriber, Shara, and go, go, go. And I'll be right back. All right, I am back. I am back. I am back. And has everybody entered their number? It's looking like there's no more numbers being entered, so it must be that time. Oh, stop, stop, stop. Okay. Yay. I do keep doing that, don't I? Just keep showing you my passcode. Fortunately, most of you will never get my... Oh, I guess maybe I didn't. There we go. Silly me. Random org. Okay, and it's 46. Hang on 1 second. Where is my pen? Just waiting for moderate. Okay. We are looking like Tracy with 45. Tracy, that's wonderful. Tracy, if you will email me at that email address, I will email you back the link to your Dropbox to any one of the 8 coloring books that I currently have. I do have, for everybody who would like to know, there is a flip through, a walkthrough of each one of my books in a playlist on my channel. So just go to playlists and look for the one that says CLAldridge flip throughs. And there's like 11 because there are other people who have done flip throughs that I've also linked. And there are, reviews on lots of other channels as well, but I don't have a link for all of them. And I've tried to organize my playlists by area of interest. So if you ever get in there and, just kind of want to play around and see, I've tried to put coloring demonstrations, drawing videos, all of that kind of stuff together. Okay, thank you. I need to decide if that's okay. Oh, yes, that's what I meant. That's what I meant, so that you could choose which book you might like to have if you aren't already familiar with my work. And that's what I was saying, Tracy, and to everybody. So, yeah, there's that. There's flip throughs of everything. Grace has done flip throughs of some of my books. Deb has. Sandy has. Of course, Anne at A Colorful Life has. And she's coloring chats. Excuse me. Hang on one second, guys. Sorry about that. My head is so stuffed up. It's to not even be believed. So, yes, that's the one. Colored Chats and Cats with Michelle. Spring. Welcome, spring. See, back when I smoked, I didn't have this. It was bad because my lungs were all covered with stuff so the pollen couldn't irritate them. Okay. Let's color something else. Let's color. I was thinking of a fuchsia or a mauve for those flowers. Or maybe even, ooh, how about the blush of scarlet pink to go with the cherry and I saw DERWENT do this last night. She used an orange color and then she used like a rose pink and it ended up looking it was just gorgeous together. So what about the carmine and the scarlet? All right, let's try that. Exactly, May, but it will get better. Okay. Oh, well, I hope so. Because I got to tell you what, I think I'd rather die than no, I wouldn't. Okay, there's the scarlet. Okay, now we're into there. What did we say there? Jeez Louise. Christine, do you really not remember? The carmine, that was it. The carmine. There it is. Okay. All right, so we'll try the carmine. And which one is darker? Carmine is the darker shade. Okay, so I want I want this. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I want. That is a beautiful shade. That is a beautiful, beautiful color. And I just changed the pencils. So I've got the carmine pink is the 0520. I'm just throwing in a little bit of color. And notice that I'm using these pencils a little differently today than I have in the past. And that's just so I can show you guys, different ways of using them. Kenny, I can take allergy meds if I could afford them. Yeah, if I could afford them, I probably could. But but the bottom line is that until Monday, until Monday night at 3:00 in the morning my time, I cannot go out and get them. And it's okay because I can, I mean, when I'm not on the air, I'm not, it doesn't matter if I cough or not. It bothers me that I'm coughing on the air with you guys. But also, I mean, remember that it is spring, and so I would be coughing regardless. Because spring sort of sucks in Virginia as far as, I guess I should write Tracy's name down, huh? Is it EY or just Y? We'll find out. And I write your names down next to your numbers so I can always remember whether or not you claimed your prize. I still have 2 outstanding prizes from the 500 subscriber giveaway. Yeah, but you'd actually have to have a doctor. And to have a doctor, you'd have to have insurance. I don't have any of those things. I haven't seen a doctor since I was 34, maybe. Yeah, I think I was 34. And I've been insured most of that time. But right now I have no insurance. So beside which, I don't believe in being sick. So consequently not. And I never have been. I truly do think like a pioneer. You know, my whole thing is, well, what would a pioneer do if you were out in the in the wilderness or whatever, and you didn't have access to a doctor? How would you look? Well, it's what happened when I fell and broke my arm. Last winter, was not last winter. It was the winter of when was that? It was January 7th of 2018 that I fell on the ice and broke my wrist. And it actually broke a bone right here. But it only cracked it. It didn't actually, it wasn't like a compound fracture or anything like that. And so I just simply put a splint on it. And it's fine. I have full use of my hand. Everything is fine with it. Just use my common sense. No, Kathy. No, I'm sorry. I apologize, guys, but I do not. I don't believe in doctors. I don't believe in them. I mean, obviously, if I had a broken leg, if I had something that was, easily identified, if I needed something specific fixed, if I had a broken nose and I needed plastic surgery or whatever, I would go to it's not that I don't believe in the doctors. It's their practicing, and they're practicing on us. If it's something that I can't fix myself, obviously I would go to a doctor. I mean, obviously I would. But otherwise, if they're going to tell me there's something wrong with me, I don't want to know. If it's something they can fix, it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't have a family that takes care of me, or that I need to take care of. You sound like my sister, Kathy. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't believe in doctors. I don't believe in going to the doctor for anything other than, you stopped breathing and uh, and we'll fix this. No, sorry. You ran up against the one thing I feel strongly about. I watched those guys take away my father's last good years. No, not gonna do it. I've told my family all knows that if I ever get sick, they just need to let me die. Consequently, I never get sick. So y'all can feel however you want to feel about that. But I do not. I just don't. I don't believe in doctors. Put some more mustard in here. I mean, I'm not silly. I I try and take good care of myself. I try and eat right. Yes, I do smoke. I did smoke, but that was more because I like it. What it is that I don't fear death. Maybe that's it. I've never feared death. Never, ever, ever. Salt water goggle, lemon, Katie, you mean for the cough? Yeah, I like lemonade. Yeah, I've had insurance most of my life, and I've still never gone to a doctor. I always had it through my company. What? Oh, you don't? Okay. What? Because I don't fear death. I I I mean, Kenny, if I had to face some of the things that you've had to face, I would. I mean, obviously, doctors would be my very best friends. Fortunately for me, I've always enjoyed excellent health or good health, and and consequently, I guess maybe I haven't needed to go to the doctor for any reason uh, since. Well, I mean, guys, come on. When I was in my childbearing years, yes, I did that one. That's that sort of goes without saying. But just for general physicals and stuff like that, no, no, because they always find something wrong with you, and you know what? There's never been anything wrong with me, so there won't be any funerals either. So not only are they instructed to let me die, but there's not to be any funeral either. It is to be as if I was never here. Okay, Beth. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, everybody, hang on one second because I just took a look at the time. Obviously, Maybrox is next. Now, uh, May is the sweetest, most wonderful human being in the world thank you, May, for putting up with me doing a downer. Apparently, I did a downer on my channel, and I apologize for that, everybody. But I am very glad to relinquish the time and go with May. And here is her channel. And we can all learn something new from her. If you are not already subscribed, I can strongly recommend her. And I will just say a quick goodbye. Bye, everybody. Thank you all for coming. Hi, Loretta and Sparkle and Kenny. Bye. And thank you, Brenda and Donna and Connie and Debs and Pat and Mia Bear and Jude and Kathy and Tracy. Tracy, definitely email me. I'll be looking for it. I see it is with a Y and he. And hi, Sammy. I didn't know you were lurking, my dear. How are you? And Mousy Deb and and everybody. And I promise I'll be brighter and chipper. You know what I mean. Go see May. Bye, everyone. Next week, guest artist, color something pretty.